This week, around the British Columbia Football Conference.
The Kamloops Broncos will hold their 5th spring camp in franchise history this weekend at Hillside Stadium at beautiful Thompson Rivers University. The Broncos have been busy this offseason trying to build off their 3-win season from last year. Perhaps the biggest change is at the top of their coaching staff, as Rob Ellis has stepped down to make way for Duncan Olthuis, who spent last season as the team's co-defensive coordinator. Duncan talks about the change of now being the head guy, heading into his first spring camp.
It is a big change. Well, actually, it's my first spring camp with the team, actually, because I didn't come to the one last year. So it's a little bit of a walking process, basically. I'm new to this part right now, but not the season. So I'm getting walked through it by the other coaches right now, basically.
And the nice thing is you're not new to the players either. So how have they responded to you taking over the head role?
They're pretty positive, actually. They're very happy that they got a committed coach and someone that's very passionate about the game.
You're coming off a good season successfully as far as the Broncos are concerned. Obviously, you've had some tough years, but last year was better. How many players do you expect to have this year?
I expect to have our core of 45, the guys from last year, and then I'm thinking for camp with those core together, about 80 to 100 kids, I would think, for the camp this weekend.
Is that up or about the same from last year?
I believe it is up. I think last year they had 75 altogether.
Well, that's good news for the Bronco organization then.
It is, yes.
How much scheme work do you think you're going to want to get into during spring camp, or is it more of an evaluation?
It is. Our spring camp is totally evaluation. We're just keeping it very vanilla, and we want to just evaluate these kids, and we want to see who's flying around and can make some plays.
And you have the fortunate task of working with some great coaches, guest coaches, like Terrence Houston, who played for the Dolphins and the Raiders. Jermaine Haley was a former Argo and a former Redskin. Ken Walcott, a former Argo. Do you have to do any coaching?
Me personally, I don't think so. I think with all our guest coaches, it's a great group, and we're lucky to have them. Lucky to have the coaches in town. We do the high school coaches and the friends of our other coaches.
Are a lot of the players coming to camp local kids, or are they coming from all over?
It is. It's a mixed bag. There's quite a few local, and there's quite a few from out of province and out of up north, and a few from Kelowna and a few from out in Saskatchewan.
So how much of this is a selling camp as well as an evaluation camp for the Bronco organization, getting players really to stay in Kamloops and play this coming summer?
I think it's a huge selling point, because we're not evaluating the kids, we're selling ourselves as well. Mm-hmm. I think it's a great place to play. We're right at the university school, so if these kids want to move on to the CIS, we play right at the school. So
you feel your venue is certainly attractive because it is a great setup.
It is a great setup. I think it's very attractive because we have a fully accredited university with the academics, and as well we have a huge trade center with there. But if you graduate grade 12, you're into that university. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's open admission.
Yeah, and it is really nice to have right there. So coming into camp, getting out of camp this weekend, what are your goals personally as the new head coach of the Broncos?
My goal is just to evaluate and have some fun with these kids and look for the athletes and get them to stick around.
The Broncos have high hopes for this season, and head coach Duncan Olthuis gets to put his first stamp on this team starting this weekend with the Broncos spring camp. Until next time, I'm Ryan Waters.